I currently have my side scan set at 80 feet out, and all I'm doing is just covering water and looking for any type of cover and structure. And just wanted to show you real quick how I was able to locate that that structure that I just showed you guys. All right, so here it is right here on down scan sonar, and there it is on side imaging. So let me just skip to my side imaging real quick, and there you go, guys. So that is what I was able to see. And once I saw that, from that point, all I pretty much had to do was drop that waypoint, turn back around, and just get a more detailed view of it using my Mega Live and the 360, guys. You can use your Mega Live system, 360, and target lock. All three of those together can pretty much help you have a successful day out here on the water, guys. What I'm doing is using that to line up my cast. When I was scanning using my side scan and sonar, I was able to locate this structure that you see on the side scan. So what I did is I dropped a waypoint right there. It was close enough to it so that once I went ahead and stopped the boat, dropped the 360, I was able to quickly and easily find it based on the location of that waypoint. And looking over here on the mapping, you can see it right here on the mapping also. I'm sitting kind of shallow. The other thing with it, guys, I have my talons. If you look back here real quick, you can see that I dropped my talons, and that is pretty much holding me in place. So I do have a spot lock on here, but whenever I'm in shallow water, I prefer to use those talons. Some of you guys have been asking me about that. When do I use the talons versus the spot lock? And that's pretty much it. Anytime that I'm in shallower water, anything around 9 feet or less, I prefer to use those talons to kind of get locked in on the spot. But let's get right to it, guys. Taking a look at the target lock, you can see it's pointing out to the right now, but looking on the 360, that structure is straight ahead. So what we want to do is, normally I'm standing up, so I will just use this foot pedal to kind of change the direction of that target lock. So as I'm pressing that button, you will see that it's kind of scanning to the left. And what the goal is to get it lined up right here with that cover, with that structure, so that way we can see if there's any fish on there. So I'm slowly just pressing that button right there and panning it to the left, as you can see up there on that arrow, until we start seeing that structure. And there we go. So that's the structure right there. And if you leave it on there, I've kind of scanned it real quick, and I can see those fish are moving back and forth in that cover and structure that they have right there. So I'm scanning a little bit past it, so now I'm lined up directly with it. You can see that on that arrow. Whenever I kick it back a little bit, let's just take another look at that 360. But now I'm scanning all the way to the left of it, because what I want to do is see where those fish are at along this structure. And can't really tell what that is right there, but you can see that it's a pretty long piece of structure down there under the water. Could be some steps, some old steps or something like that, or maybe even an old submerged dock. But either way, we want to find the area where those fish may be staging or setting up on there, because as you can see, that is the bank right there, and there's some rocks and other things over there. So these fish are pretty much moving back and forth along these rocks, and they can go here and kind of get some cover whenever they need it. But let's go ahead and finish taking a look at this, guys. All right, so I'm scanning further to the left, and eventually I should start seeing the dock that is close to that. So I'm still scanning to the left, and you can start to see the dock right there. So what we're getting from this interference, guys, if you take a look at the water clarity here, the water is kind of stained, but there's definitely like you can see some little leaves and debris and things like that in the water. So this live system will pick that up along with the pollen, and I've given you guys a lot of information on that and how to get that cleared up if you choose to do that. But for me, it's good enough for me to be able to see what I need for today. So let me continue to turn this and just see what we see. All right, so nothing else over there. So now I'm going to pan this. As you can see, it's all the way to the left now. So I'm going to start panning this back to the right until I get it line back up with that structure that I'm seeing on the 360. Right now it's just pointing over there toward those rocks, so that's why you're kind of seeing that return from that hard bottom. But let me just go ahead and continue pressing this right arrow now, and that will turn it until we start seeing that cover again. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. It's starting to come back into play, and I just want to keep moving slowly until I see where those fish are at. Okay, it looks like I can see the fish moving around right there. So what I'll do now is just pick a lure or a bait that I think will kind of produce based on what I'm seeing here. So these fish are sitting in about 12 feet of water. That's where that structure is located. And this reading is a little off. I probably need to go into my settings and just make a quick change in there to get that updated. But there you go again. You can see that fish kind of come up a little bit and go back down into that cover. So for me, what I like to do is throw something like a jig, a Texas rig, shaky head, something like that, that I can actually cast out there and watch fall down to the bottom. What I'll do for you guys is I will toss a wacky rig out there, something that you can see will have a slow fall, and we can actually track that while it's falling. So just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to record this for you and cast with one hand. So let me just see if I can get this lined up, guys. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. There is the cast with that wacky rig, and you can see it falling right down into that cover, and there's a fish coming up to meet it. So sometimes those fish will pick it up right away. Other times you have to, you know, get out there and put a little action into it. But let me fish this back real quick so that way you can kind of see how it looks whenever these fish are following that bait. All right, there we go. So you can see that wacky rig falling right on the other side. There's a fish coming out of it, going down to it. But let's see if they will take it. So I'm just fishing it kind of slow, guys. All right, and now you can see, because that bait went in there, it kind of activated those fish a little bit. You can see them coming straight out of there and going right down to where that wacky rig is at. So let me just move it a little bit again. All right, and that was it right here. So you kind of saw it right in there, guys, but doesn't look like they're taking it. But we're not here to catch fish today anyway, so I'm just out here getting some practice in for a tournament that I will be participating in tomorrow. But there you go. So you can see those fish moving in and out of that cover. And just a quick recap, guys. All I'm doing is scanning using my sonar, down scan and side scan from the console. Once I was able to locate this structure right here using the side scan, I quickly put a waypoint on it, turned around, came back and dropped the trolling motor, and used my target lock 360 and also that mapping. You can see that waypoint right there on the mapping. And once I get all of that lined up, now I can go ahead and get it lined up using the target lock and the Mega Live. So those things in combination, guys, that is something that can get out here and help you have a productive day on the water. I hope that information helped you out. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure you get active in the comments and consider subscribing to the channel, because I am always dropping information that I feel will bring value to you guys while you are out on the lake. All right, really appreciate you subscribing and supporting the channel. I will see you on the next video.